Hey everybody, Yankee here. I'm sure a lot of you out there have already heard that as of June 18th, in just a few days this month, this year, YouTube has announced they're going to start cracking down on gun channels. And I know that's shocking because they've always been so nice to the gun channels up till now, so equitable and fair. We all know that's sarcasm. They have been very unfriendly to gun channels from the get-go pretty much. They don't really like a lot of conservative issues and they consider guns a conservative issue. Now, they don't mind conservative issues if you're a ranting, raving lunatic who fearmongers and is divisive, because then they can point at you and go, look, those are the people on the other side. They're awful. So they like those guys. But anybody who's, considerate, thoughtful, fair, whatever, they don't want that. If you're trying to make a valid point in a calm way, well, they're not interested in that if it's a conservative viewpoint. So they're going to start restricting who can see gun videos of certain types. And the rules that they're implementing are a little confusing. A lot of people were confused about them. I was reading online. And I said, well, I'm going to go over and look at them. They can't be that difficult. And after just spending a few minutes looking at them, well, I am kind of confused. I do have a lot of questions. They were very vague in some places. Now, some things are pretty simple, but most of it's pretty vague. So I want to go over it today. Now, first off, let's talk about what YouTube's going to do. If you have any of these topics in your video, they're going to age restrict your video to over 18. That means anyone who wants to see your video, who would normally get it recommended to them, etc., will have had to gone in and selected that they are over 18 on YouTube. I haven't done that. I don't know about you, but I'm going to have to now. And of course, they're trying to keep these videos away from children. So this is how they're doing that. Because we all know the people that have gone in and said they're 18 are people who are not 18. So it's not going to do anything to restrict children from seeing the videos. But that's the excuse they use. Guns are the #1 killer in children and teens up to 20 years old, as long as you include gang violence, etc. And then you divide up other causes of death. Like if you say, well, drunk drivers is different than just a regular accident, blah, blah, blah. So that doesn't count as a whole. That kind of, it's a very unreal and unfair and misleading statistic. Guns are not the leading killer of children, period. Not even close. Not even like third place. But when they do their creative math, they make it sound like it is so that they can do things like restricting these videos, cutting down viewership to next to nothing for a lot of channels. Unless you can somehow get everybody out there that watches your videos to go in and say, I'm over 18. And most people probably haven't thought of doing that. So I saw one article that said most people aren't going to see your videos anymore simply because they don't know they should do that. I don't know if that's true or not because I don't understand how YouTube works, but I read it, so it must be true. But like I said, I want to go over the rules today of what they're going to be restricting on YouTube as of the 18th. If you have videos, gun-related videos, that show the removal of a safety, which I assume they mean either deactivating it or replacing it or whatever, that will be restricted to 18 and over. And I'm sure I have some videos that fall into this category. I mean, I know I've converted PX4 Storms to Type Gs, and I've taken the Type G kit, put it on Beretta 92s. If you're using a kit from the manufacturer to change the type of safety, does that count as disabling or removing a safety? I don't know. Like I said, a lot of gray area there, so I'm not really sure about that. The other thing they're going to be cracking down on is homemade guns. Guns you make at home. And I don't know what this means either. They don't really specify. Is this zip guns? Something you made out of a pipe and, some gunpowder and all this other stuff? Is that what this is? Or do they count 80%ers? Does that count as a homemade gun? I could see very much so that it would. But what about putting together an AR? Is every AR construction video on the internet going to be 18 and over now and not get recommended to people, not be seen? And that really cuts down your views. Trust me, they did that to me when I was in a network. They shadow banned me. I'm still shadow banned, where they sent a letter to my network saying that, hey, his videos aren't up to our standards. He's no longer going to show up in random searches. And if anybody wants to see his videos, they're either going to have to be subscribed for them to be recommended, or they're going to have to search for his video title specifically. It's called a shadow ban, and they did that to me a while ago, and that's basically what they're going to be doing to a lot of gun channels right now. And that really cuts down your views, because like 90% of my views were from unsubbed people. Now it's only like 20%. And that cut me down like 70,000 views a day. So this is not something small. This can make a big dent in a lot of gun channels out there, especially ones that deal with things like ARs. Because if building an AR counts as building your own gun, and that's going to be restricted to 18 and over, which is going to be probably mostly children because they're the ones that go in and actually say I'm over 18. Well, that's going to really hurt your viewership and sponsorship and advertising and all this other stuff that these channels do. Now, I don't take advertising, so I don't worry about my metrics as much as they do, but still, it's going to hurt. Like I said, also, other than the homemade guns, which is very open to interpretation, also, guns who use gun videos where they show certain types of accessories, and they list silencers as one example. But then they say other types, and I don't know what other types of accessories they mean. Is it just suppressors? Is it if I put an extended magazine grip, if I, like a thumb extension, or what do you mean, a pinky extension on my magazines? Is that one of the things that are prohibited? I don't know. It just says some accessories. So they're really going to be cracking down on that. So they're removing the safeties, the homemade guns, the accessories. Oh, and they also said in this announcement that some videos, while they don't violate these actual policies, will still be subject to these restrictions because they basically just don't like the overall theme or feel of them. Which means, they have a gun. And another thing that's going to be restricted is automatic firearms. You won't be able to show automatic firearms in a video unless it's going to be restricted to over 18. And I'm not real sure yet if they're going to require you to do that on your end and then you get a strike if you don't, or if they're just going to automatically do it, restrict everything to 18 over. And then if they do that, here's what's going to happen. I will tell you now. I'm putting on my Karnak hat here. I don't know, that doesn't mean anything to a lot of people out there because you're too young, but I'm putting it on, and what I'm seeing here is a problem for every YouTube video you put out that regards guns, because they're going to treat every one of them like they should have been restricted to 18 plus, and you're going to have to appeal it, just like they do now with a lot of gun videos. Anytime you put one up, if they take it, they tell you, oh, it's not suitable for advertising, even though it violates no rules. Doesn't do anything wrong, and then you have to appeal it, and then like 7 to 10 days later they send you a letter saying, or an email saying, oh, you were right, there's nothing of a violation in there, that it's an okay video, you can actually monetize it. But now you've already had all your views on the video, no one's going to watch it now. So they've basically cut you away from any type of revenue, and that is if you're all still earning revenue. So no auto weapons, and also kids in videos, that's a big no-no. They mentioned that specifically in there. Also homemade guns, like I said, certain accessories, which I'm not sure which ones, videos that deal with safety. So there's a wide array of things here your video is going to get restricted to 18 plus for. And like I said, I have a feeling it's just going to be a lot of, I could probably upload a video tomorrow where I just sit and hold a Smith & Wesson Model 60 for 10 seconds and say, I like guns. They would probably say, oh, that's 18 over, even though it wouldn't have violated a single policy, and I'll have to go through the process of getting it approved. So this is coming June 18th. So if you're one of the people that's been really worried about this, those are the things you have to worry about. Like I said, it's just one more hurdle they're throwing in the front of gun channels to be able to be successful on YouTube. Now, my channel doesn't worry about being successful because I'm not willing to do the stuff you need to do to be successful. But some people out there, this is their livelihood. There's some people who make their living off this, support their family off this. And this is just another roadblock YouTube is putting in front of them because they handle guns. Half the videos online are child exploitation. Like, oh, look at me raising my cute little kid. Let me watch videos of her on the swing and stuff like that. But guns are the problem. So YouTube, like I said, cracking down June 18th. It's going to be a big problem for all of us. Just understand the rules is going to be a big problem. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed, hoping it doesn't become a huge problem, hoping it's just one of the normal problems that YouTube keeps throwing at gun channels.